August 26th. Larry is not with us, so I am going to take this banner off and hold on. I just am getting a text message. It might, oh, okay. Okay, Larry said he's trying to get my attention, and I know I wrote in the right, let me read the thing. Let me read that I gave him. There he is. Okay. He's here.
And doodling, but you didn't.
No, it wasn't. It didn't show up, Larry. I don't know what happened. It didn't show that you were here. So, I just announced today, sorry, because you need to be yelling. I'm sorry about that. Okay, folks, Larry's here, so take it away, sir. Today is Monday, the 26th of August.
Monday is the 26th.
Yes, sir.
Today, guys, is a very sobering day for me. Sobering not in the sense that I've been on an 8-day running drunk. I haven't been. Sobering because so many things are finally starting to come true. Things that I and others have forewarned you, and they're starting to manifest.
That sounds ominous.
I'm sorry, what?
That sounds ominous.
Yes, well, it should, because it is. A lot of things are entering their final stages. I would like to spend today's program and programs in the future getting all of you comfortable with the situation we find ourselves in. And folks, I'm sorry, I feel so bad. So you're just going to have to bear with me through this. It's a little hard to go forward in a positive manner. Police are getting to the point where, as I told you yesterday or Friday, and as I will be continuing to tell you day in and day out, law enforcement officers are going to be targeted and they're going to be blamed. And that's going to make them start to hold farewell parties. And remember,
Remember what, Larry? Wake up. Remember what?
Well, remember that they're doing all they can in a situation that's untenable for them in ways we can never understand. You know, they're paid to protect us, and they're paid to protect us from the most difficult people to protect us from. Sounds kind of like a tricky play on words, but it's not. There are people in your community right now right where you are this day. A couple I know about that are and how are they going to defend us when there is an open license to hunt them?
Open license for what?
To hunt them, to hunt the police. Yes. Yes. There is an open license. Maybe it's not written as such as this is a license for you to go out and kill every police officer that you see. No state or house monitored positions. There are rules. And the house rules.
Did you say house rules?
No, I said there are rules. I don't know what's the matter with the phone. I'm having trouble hearing, and I'm having trouble hearing on your end, and I guess it's coming out bad on mine.
No, you're loud and clear to me. Let me turn up my volume. I can turn up my volume slightly, not much, but I can do it up a little bit. Does that help?
I just can't push today.
No, you can't.
I have no idea how sick I am today. I just can't push it today.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Now, the police are in the beginning of a horrendous attack against them. Now, some people say, well, they're getting paid to do it. They're getting paid to take these chances. They're getting paid to so forth and so on, whatever. But getting paid is not the answer. The answer is justice. The answer is clear, born, and defined justice. And that's not being afforded our law enforcement agencies. So, who among you would want to take that job? Who among you would be willing to put your life on the line every day to protect people that curse you, that hate the ground you walk on?
Yes, Casey, that is why police recruiting is so low.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's asking, how will this affect us all?
It is very dangerous. I just got a message. I couldn't read it. I'm sorry. It's very dangerous, the situation we put our police in. But today, what I want to talk to you all about, and I want to do it in the proper spirit, in the proper manner. I want to talk to you about defending yourself. I want you to understand the things that you can do to protect you and your family. And conversely, know and understand what you can't do. It's a big deal. Big deal. It's going to get bigger. Now, to start with, when they line up, these Antifa type groups, when they line up, and when they do, they grow a crowd. And when they grow a crowd, the potential for violence increases exponentially. It grows, it grows, it grows. And anybody in, around, near anyone that is caught in that situation, I'm not happy about this tale. I'm not happy to talk to you. Not happy at all. So, before I go any further with some of the specifics of defending yourself, your life, your home, your property, if you people have questions, please get them in, start getting them in, so that we can try to get them all answered. And again, I apologize for feeling so bad. Really, really bad. But it comes with the turf. Now, in defending your home, we've talked about this, me and many other people here, over years. What do we do? What do we have? What do we need? The first thing people immediately jump out there and want to get and think they need to get is a high capacity firearm. The ones they're claiming that they've got to get rid of. Yep. Got to get rid of them because, golly gee, they can kill 20, 30 people with those things in a matter of seconds. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. So the logical thing then would be, well, if the bad guys got them, then let's get them. Let's get one. Now, for every shooting in Chicago, Baltimore, Los Angeles, wherever, and think about this, wherever these occur, a couple of things happen. They do. A couple of things happen. What they don't tell you. When you shoot one of those high capacity rounds off in your community, in your neighborhood, let's not talk about the bullet that hits the intended victim. Let's don't talk about that one. Let's talk about the bullets that missed. Where did they go? Where are they? What stopped them? Where did they end up? And if you analyze the crime scene evidence, it's all over, you find out one thing pretty quick, folks. One thing pretty straightforward, pretty quick. One thing. Think about it. Now, what do you think the one thing is you find out pretty quick? About the bullets that had nothing to do with killing a person that
Anybody know? There's 36 of us here.
Anybody know? Let me tell you, to break the suspense. Those rounds fly off into the neighborhood. And did you know, for every person killed or wounded in the neighborhood from a drive-by shooting, the numbers are somewhere around 2 to 3 to 1. 2 to 3 to 1. That innocent bystanders were hit more than the person they were going to target. Little children swinging on the steps in their safe porch, they thought. Their babies in their baby pen, thinking they're safe. And then they're gone. They're gone. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Because then what happens is, let's say gang A goes out and they intend to shoot person A of gang A, but the bullets go flying everywhere. And you know who they end up killing? They end up killing little baby Joe of gang A's parents. Kill him. The parents go ballistic. The neighborhood goes ballistic. How horrible. I mean, how horrible can these villains be that drove by and killed baby Joe? Of course, then you've got the gang that has the territory that baby A was in. Well, then they go into action for revenge. Yes, sir. They go into the revenge mode. And you can't hardly blame them. You can't. So they go seeking out the shooter. Shooter or shooters that errantly, maliciously, animalistically killed a little baby laying in a baby bed. They go shooting. When they get to the neighborhood of neighborhood B, they go popping off rounds, and guess what? Baby Jane, she gets killed while laying in a baby bed. And baby Jane is a part of the neighborhood where this other group, we'll call them Group C, Gang C, that's where they live. Well, now they're mad, justifiably so. And they set out for revenge, and they go on a killing spree. And it's very possible before this spree of shooting, counter-shooting, reaction, counter-reaction, by the time it's all said and done, it is nothing. For the body count to end up to be 80 to 120 wounded, just innocent people wounded, and maybe 10 to 20 people killed that had absolutely nothing to do with the original act that caused this reaction. So now you've got 50 to 80 people being harmed over one incident. One. And the die is set, the die is cast. The game is on. The game is on. And you've got good people. Me. I say good people. I say good people. Kids that have been put into gangs and think that they're doing what they're supposed to do by getting revenge on the people that hurt their neighborhood and their gang. And it grows, and it grows, and it just keeps growing. And the next thing you know, you've got an all-out war within the neighborhoods that the police can't even begin to stop. Nobody can. It's just open season. And then what happens when that open season gets started? Guess what happens then? Y'all think about it. You know what happens then? Well, you cannot confine these magic bullets when you're doing all this shooting. You can't confine these bullets. You can't say you go up to this street corner and that's where the line ends. Mr. Bullet, you cannot go past this corner. That is the territorial divide. You've got to stop right there. You ever try to tell a damn piece of lead bullet, something like that, don't work. I've tried. Doesn't work. Now you got war. Within your neighborhood, you've got war. And pretty soon the neighborhood looks like, let's say Fallujah in Iraq. Look what it looks like. You take the pictures of the people out and just look at the property. You know, looks a lot like Fallujah or other towns that have been destroyed from within with fighting. Is that what we want? Because I'm sure in hell what's coming. Sure, it is coming. And then to make it worse, to make such an unfathomable story worse, it's actually happening. It really, truly is. And you can't go talk to them because ain't nobody to talk to.
What do you mean by there's nobody to talk to?
Who you gonna call, Mary Ellen? Who you gonna call? You gonna go to the cop? What the cop gonna tell you? Say, hey, look, there's nothing I can do. You gotta talk to the people in your neighborhood. You've got to get these kids calmed down. You've got to explain to these kids, soon to be adults, you've got to explain to them that this has got to end. It can't go on any further. And you'll get in front of your face the true definition of who you're going to call. Because you might as well be talking to a Martian. Just to a Martian. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to do it. Pathway to doom. Pathway to doom. I'm no hero. I'm no person that has any power. I don't. Power to heal. But then you've got this Taib and Omar and AOC. You got those people. They run around claiming these powers. Claiming they have these powers. So they can gather up a crowd and fire this crowd up and get that crowd to send them money for their campaign so they can keep being reelected. And they don't deserve to be elected, much less re-elected. We are on a crash course to death. Every damn one of us. So that brings me to what I was trying to do today, and I'm not doing a very good job because I'm exactly one to a frazzle. I need to help you. I need to help you. Knowing, of course, 90% of you don't want my help for nothing. rest don't think they need help, period. So it may just be another exercise of futility. But I would suggest let's talk about what you need to have in the way of weapons to protect your family, your home, and, everything you live for and have built. What do you need? What must you have to protect yourself? Now, there are people out there that'll talk you into buying guns, weapons that cost a fortune, that can give you 5 million shots in a second. They can. I don't think you need that. I don't think that's the kind of weapon you need for defending your home. Anybody that is involved in the military and have been for years and years and years will tell you that a high capacity clip magazine, whatever you want to call it, those usually work to provide you with what's called suppressing power. Suppressing power. That means as long as you're throwing lead out there at an interesting rate, the bad guys will leave. They'll just leave. That's what it's supposed to work, but it don't work that way, but that's the way it's supposed to work. So why don't you do this? Instead of getting a high capacity weapon that throws out hundreds of rounds, which will go wildly into the neighborhood, and that starts the cycle I've already told you about, where you're killing innocent people in their beds inside their apartments or their homes where they should be safe. What I would suggest you get, now write this down, folks, write this down. I suggest that you get what is called a coach gun. Coach, like football coach, stage coach. It's called a coach gun. Coach gun. That is a double-barrel shotgun. Just an old double-barrel shotgun. 2 shots, 1 in each chamber. 2 shots. Now,
Is Larry,
uh-huh.
Is a coach gun, is that the name, the brand name, or?
No.
Okay.
The one that I have is by Steyr. So you can get a Steyr and they have a coach gun, or you can get a Remington and they'll have a variation of a coach gun. But any place you're trying to buy a weapon from, if it's an authorized real gun dealer, they're going to know what a coach gun is and who it is, what you're talking about. Now, most people, when they hear of a coach gun or a double-barrel shotgun, let me tell you, this coach gun has a shorter barrel than a normal shotgun. Shorter barrel. Some are 20 inch, some 21, some whatever it is. It's not that long barrel that you see in the movies. It's reasonably short. Now, it's not illegal. It's not sawed off to the point where it's illegal to have. No. I'm just saying it's got a shorter barrel. Why? So that when you shoot it, the bullets inside the shells, they spread out faster. As long as they're in that barrel going out, the longer they stay in the barrel, the tighter the grouping is they come out. Most people go, well, that's what I want. That's what I want. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And I'll explain why in a minute. Now, is this helping anybody? Do y'all even want to talk about this? If y'all don't, we'll go to something else. Don't let me bore you with this issue. But this issue is going to become very relevant in the near future if we're not careful. And I would at least like to know that I have done my part to try to help you know what you should be doing or have. So let me know if you want me to stop it, if you want me to go on. Now, when you see the double barrel shotgun, especially in the old westerns, they say we're loading it with double alt buckshot. Double alt buckshot. We're bad. We load in double alt buckshot. Now, what they're talking about in a shotgun shell, inside the shell, what it throws out, instead of throwing out one slug, it throws out a bunch of BBs. Now, double alt buckshot throws out a handful of fairly good sized BBs, of which any one of them would kill you and knock you for a loop. That's what double alt buckshot does. I don't recommend that. I recommend that you use remember, in a coach gun, 12 gauge, I would recommend for this, 12 gauge for the coach gun. I would recommend that you use a light game load. A light game load. Now, what does that do? Well, usually it has less powder. It's not as powerful a charge of powder.
So it's
when you
gonna,
shoot it,
does that mean less kick?
well, it means less kick, and yes, you'll have less kick. But the main thing the less powder does is it also allows the shot to disperse faster. So if you had a long barrel shooting a double alt buckshot round with a high caliber of powder, using it as just simply a hypothetical here, you could stand about 10 feet away from the door to your house, pull the trigger, and you would knock in that door, maybe a hole. It would blow the hell out of the door, and it would blow a hole maybe somewhere around the size of a cantaloupe, maybe a little bit bigger. But now, anything that it hits is going to hurt. It's going to hurt whatever it hits. It's going to knock them down. What I suggest is a short barrel coach gun with a low charge powder. And then when you go to the lighter load rounds, small game rounds, the shot in the shell is littler. So you're throwing out versus, I'm making this up because this is not a good example, but it gives you a visual. Instead of throwing out something, let's say, the size of peas, good size fresh peas that you've shelled, you're throwing out little bitty things like BBs. Except you're throwing out a bunch of them. You're throwing out a bunch of little bitty BBs. And if any one of those BBs hits you, it's going to hurt. But one BB, unless it hits you just right, wouldn't kill you. They can kill you if they hit you wrong. But the point is, you're throwing out a small round of shell, and you're not going to kill people necessarily with that round. You know? So why did I do that to you? Why don't I give you something real powerful that throws out a big old shell that if it hits somebody, just knocks the hell out of them and they're dead? Well, it's back to a couple of things that I've been talking about. Number one, I want to know when you shoot that gun, especially in an urban environment with neighbors all around, I want to make sure that when you shoot that gun, those BBs disseminate pretty quick, that they go into the ground, that they hit the wall, that they do whatever, but they don't go across the street and kill a baby in a baby bed. They die off pretty quick because also you've got a low powder charge. So now it's a little bit safer to shoot that round. The other thing, I assure you, if somebody's coming in trying to break into your home and you've told them, please don't, and they just keep chugging along and beating on your door and beating on it, you fired that shotgun shell You fire that round at that door, they will stop. There ain't nobody alive that can run through a wall of fresh shot BBs coming out of a shotgun. They can't do it. They can't do it. They won't do it. So now you've got a very simple weapon. You've got a weapon that only has 2 rounds, but you know what? You only need 2 rounds. You only need 2. You're just trying to get the guy to get the hell out. And if he doesn't get out, you still want to have something that when all else fails, if he's staring you down and coming at you, you slip 2 more rounds into your shotgun. Now you've got 2 more rounds. If he keeps coming and you shoot him straight on with that shotgun shell, albeit low powder, albeit small BBs, albeit all those things, I assure you he goes down. He will go down. And then you just wait for the PD to come. And speaking of the police, one exercise I want you all to get in the habit, and I'm talking about even you male guys, even the macho men. Hey, men, let's all face it, men, we're not young bucks anymore. We're older now. We're older. And we have responsibilities now. We're afraid now. We're not the tough macho guy we thought we were 30 years ago. So when somebody's trying to break into your home, whether it be a male or a female that's receiving the threat, first thing you should do is pick up your phone and you dial 911. Call 911 and talk as loud as you can so that the intruder who's trying to come in can hear you talking to the police department and telling them what's going on. And just keep yelling it, yelling it, yelling it. I mean it. I mean it. That's the best defense you got right there. If they are convinced, as you should be telling the truth, by the way, if they are convinced that you're actually communicating with the police department and that you have them coming to your residence to stop these people from threatening you and possibly hurting you, most of the time they're going to back out and get out of there. Do you hear me? Are you listening to that one? Because that one doesn't sound very macho. Just don't sound very macho. Oh man, I'm a man. I'm tough. I remember the time when I used to take home 500 wild, crazy enemy at a time with nothing but my pocket knife and my teeth. You know, that's tough. Well, that was then. This is now. That was then. This is now.
We have a question, Larry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, somebody said, I have a 65 Belgian-made Browning 32-inch goose gun, shoots 2 3/4 or 3-inch Magnum, and then so your comment on that gun.
Well, that's a wonderful weapon, and of course, to the listener, you know that's a goose gun designed to go way up in there and grab you a goose flying over. It's not really a close quarter combat weapon, but I assure you it's worth a fortune. It truly is.
What do you mean by worth a fortune?
I mean, just the collectability of it. I mean, that's just wonderful. Just a wonderful weapon. Historic weapon.
What do you think of a Remington 12 goose gun? goose gun pump?
Well, usually when you talk about, now I could be, because I'm not a big goose hunter, bird hunter, but when you talk generally about quote unquote goose guns, folks are talking about the load of the shell must be a little bit higher than a duck load or a rabbit or a squirrel load, because they can, they can get out of there pretty quick. So a goose gun is designed to shoot birds out of the sky. In most cases, big birds, geese are pretty good sized birds, and they're designed to shoot them out at a distance. And Lord have mercy, a goose gun is just a wonderful weapon. Now, for close quarter combat, once again, 32-inch full choke barrel is a little unruly in a tight space. But you can handle it if you know what you're doing. And you can get somebody's attention and convince them they need to stay the hell away from you.
Okay, one other question. Nick says we need semi-autos today. The time of manual, whoops, I just lost it. The time of manual loading double barrels is behind us. No time to reload in a drastic situation.
And, I can only tell you what I keep for me, all right? And whatever you have will work if you practice and know what you're doing with the scenario. You got it? Work out in your head the scenario, work out in your mind which way most probably somebody trying to rob you would come in. Work that out as best you can in your head. And when you do that, then a lot of this stuff will make much more sense.
Okay.
What else you got?
Ben says if you kill someone breaking into your home, your life will never be the same. The law will come down to you like a ton of bricks.
Yes, Ben is right. Unfortunately, what happens, and guys, let me see if I can put this in a proper perspective. If you're ever in a situation where you willfully have to take another human's life, and I don't care if this is in war, I don't care if it's in war, if it's an accident, if it's whatever. Somebody died because of you. It's going to hurt you for a long, long time. You see, everything that person was, it's just a terrible thing. Don't aspire to do that. But I will say this, if somebody's breaking into your home, I don't want you thinking if you've got to pull the trigger. I don't want you thinking about, can I pull off a shot and wound that person? If you've got to shoot at a person, you shoot to kill. Shoot to kill. And nothing else will work. Not for you, not for anybody. Nothing else will work. You shoot to kill. And don't think something's wrong with you when it has a serious emotional effect on you. Because it does to everybody. Some of us are able to disguise it better than others. It's only a disguise. It's only a disguise. thing. I live with it every day. So, any other question, Rayon, before I go on about your second weapon? Actually, third weapon. Let's go through the weapons while she's looking. First weapon is have in your possession what I recommend, which is a double barrel shotgun, preferably a coach gun, which means 12 gauge, shorter barrel. Don't go cutting your barrel. Don't go whittling down the barrel, because you will be prosecuted. Once you cut that barrel, they can claim you cut it 10 inches lower than you actually did, and you've got no way of defending yourself. So, shotgun first. Second thing, telephone, 911. Now, what you got, Marion?
No, I don't have another question. We've got somebody who's talking about their really sad personal situation, but it's not related to the weapons that I can. Go ahead, number 3.
Number 3 is you're not going to like, but you need a knife. Kitchen knife, whatever kind of knife. That is your weapon of last resort, but it is a weapon. Now, I don't mean for you guys to go. And did I get knocked off, or am I still here?
You're still here.
Okay, I don't mean for you guys to go and practice being Jim Bowie and throwing knives, nothing like that. But I am telling you that when all else fails, make sure you have a knife available. And I assure you want to be keep hearing this noise. Are we getting knocked off, or are we on? I'm sorry.
You're still here. I'm going to show them something. Somebody says a boule knife.
Bowie knife.
Okay.
Well, do this, Marilyn. I intend in the next day or so, I will put together, you and I will put together, and I will show examples of these weapons that I have.
Well, just give me a minute, Larry. Let me just show you something, because I'm on video. So Larry says to hold, you're going to hold, everything's in reverse. So see, I've got a pen in my hand. Pretend this is my knife. If you're going to stab at somebody, you're going to be doing it like this, which means you want to hold the knife so that it's coming along the forearm. And he told me yesterday you want your knife to extend, what was it, 2 to 3 inches beyond your elbow?
1.5 to 3 inches. So hold your arm up again where they can see it.
Yeah, I'm right here. So
you see how the blade is, you want the top of the blade to go across your arm, your forearm. And that way, the edge of the blade, if somebody's swinging down at you, folks, so this is kind of in a little advanced. We'll go into it later, but for right now, it's a little advanced. What will happen, you see, if somebody swings down at you, as long as you got the back of the blade up against your forearm and they swing down, they're going to swing down and they're going to get full thrust of your sharp side. And then by extending it out beyond your elbow in case you need to turn, you can turn, and you've got enough blade sticking out to where you could actually stick somebody with the tip of the blade. Now, I'm not going to make you guys knife fighters. I'm not going to make you combat specialists in knife fighting. But you'd be amazed the simple little tricks like Mary Ellen was showing you just of how to hold it will help you phenomenally in case it ever comes.
Nick is suggesting a Glock Model 78 field knife. And he says he's better with a 6 to 7 inch blade.
Maybe.
So
maybe. But I would certainly, guys, I would try to do what the military does and get you a basic structure first. From that, you can expand to your own taste. But let me help you with the basic structure, a basic format. You'll be much better off. You will. And by the way, when it came time to test this program and what I'm telling you, just remember, judge it by what feels right and judge it by what you can do. The day is coming, I fear, when we're talking about violence. And we have this tendency, of course, really a tendency.
what is a K knife?
K-bar. K-bar is the military knife that used to most every soldier would issue. And it's just a combat knife.
Zachary says, I got a World War II trench knife. It works pretty good still.
Yes. Trench knives are dandies. Yes, they are. So look, guys, we've got in our possession, all of us, we've got a wealth of weaponry that we maybe haven't thought about. But what I'm trying to get across to you is you're going to start thinking about it. Because we are at a point, and I don't mean to be an alarmist, I do not mean to be inciting. I am not. I refuse to incite violence. Do you hear me? I am not inciting violence. But what I am doing is I'm telling you, you cannot look at the country today and not see, ladies and gentlemen, that we are close to things starting to fall apart. Falling apart in very violent ways.
Larry, I'm going to interrupt again. One of the things that Larry worked for ADT years ago. And one of the things he did.
I didn't work for him. Now, I did a contract research project for him. I didn't work for him.
Okay, well, okay. Sorry, contract I thought was working for, but he did research for him. And he discovered that what protected people the most wasn't their phone access to ADT to call the cops and send help. What made the biggest difference was the fact that when they came in and put a system in your house, they put a sign out front. And Larry's research proved that it was the sign that made the biggest difference in stopping an intruder. And Larry and I had talked a year and a half ago about a possible business in selling signs that would say that your home was protected by XYZ security company.
Right, electronic monitoring.
Like what?
Electronic monitoring. Your home was protected by electronic monitoring.
So before I started ordering some signs, because we were talking about a possible business to try and raise some money for both of us. Before I started ordering anything, I went to Amazon. Now, I'm not pushing ordering from Amazon because they are certainly putting a lot of small businesses out of work. But just for research benefit, I looked, and ADT and several other companies have taken Larry's advice, and you can now get an ADT or something similar sign on Amazon for only $6.95. Now, most of them were in the $11, $12 range.
Now, guys, may I explain real and that logic, please? Folks, when you're dealing with a burglar, a criminal, by their very nature, they're lazy, right? Lazy. And they're always going to take or choose the path of least resistance. So now let's say there are 4 houses on this block in this neighborhood, 4 houses. One of them says it's protected by electronic security by blankety blank company. The other 3 don't. What do you think a criminal's going to do? I can't tell you which of the 3 houses that there is no sign on. The burglar's going to burgle. That's what you call it. Rob it. I don't know which one of those is going to get hit, but I can bet you the one that says it is protected and monitored won't get hit. They won't go hit. And our research back then, in the early 90s, verified that in numbers that you could not deny. You just couldn't. And of course, ADT got very mad at me because that didn't do good for them, they thought, because they're in the business of selling all this electronic gadgetry. And you didn't need it. You just had to sign. In many cases, now not in all cases, but in many cases, you just had to sign. It did the job you needed done. So the point to me is, as it was to Mary Ellen and I a year or 2 ago, which was, why not just set up a business to raise money and just sell these signs and have people put them in the yard? And that's a gigantic step towards trying to be safe, to trying to prevent danger in your home, in your neighborhood. Think about it. Think about it. Now, folks, I'm sorry today. I'm so sick. I don't feel good. And the program hasn't been anywhere near what I had hoped it to be for you. But tomorrow, I plan to do something else in the interest of helping you be ready. And folks, it's time. I'm just telling you. I am telling you, it is time that we stop dancing around it. It's time that we just admit it and we start talking about it. Violence is coming. If we don't change it, violence has got to come. Now, hopefully, we change it. Hopefully, we find a way to get people to calm down. Hopefully, we can stop this madness. But if we don't, it's coming. It's coming. Everybody get pencil and paper. I have a friend. His name is Tim Malcolm. Malcolm. Tim Malcolm. Now, he has a company, Malcolm Ballistic Tool, here in Conway. He does all the work for me. All of my work has for a long time. Now, we don't get nothing. This is not for us. Nothing comes to me or to us in any way. Fair enough, Mary Ellen, understand. We're not, right? You with me? We're not going to.
No, it is. Whatever business you send to Tim stays with Tim, and we get no credit.
Right, I want none of it. But I talked to him yesterday about, him to talk to all of you out there. Many of you have weapons that you have had for 30, 40, 50 years. They work, they probably still work, but it's been a long time since you've used them or shot them. And so I asked him to come up with some way that you guys could take a firearm that you have, or more than one, whatever, and get it to him and let him service it. Make sure it's in 100% certified working condition, and then get it back to you. And then I'm going to have Tim set up very soon, not right now, but I'm talking about within just a couple of 3 weeks. I'm going to have him set up some fundamental basic training courses to teach y'all about the weapons that you have and how to use them in a tight quarter situation. And of course, I'll be involved in that, so I'll be counseling you as well. But what do y'all think about that?
I love that. I love that idea. We haven't talked about the bow and arrow yet, but let's save that for today.
That will come. That will come.
Yes, we will have Tim on as a guest on the show. We've had guests before, not very often, mostly when Larry wasn't available, and I brought in somebody to help. There's a question.
Y'all send in, wait a minute, folks, send in a comment right quick if you think Tim's services will be important to y'all. If they're not, I'll just tell them go away. Don't worry about it.
Paul says it's better safe than sorry. A sign does make a difference. Thanks, Larry, for giving us the heads up. Somebody asked, James asked, when Obama was talking about having a civilian army, was he talking about Antifa or MS-13?
He was talking about Antifa. Obama was 100% linked. I can't tell you how I know.
He was one.
I cannot tell you how I know, but Obama and Soros were connected in ways you'll never believe. But you'll see it soon, but you won't believe it even when you see it. Promise you that.
Well,
what else you got?
I'm sure a lot of the ISIS and those kinds of people that have been coming through the southern border are connected to both of them. We did have a question early in the show. Oh, good grief. Somebody using the name Rooster. I'm not even going to read it. Never mind. It's too bizarre. Somebody had asked at the beginning that they had been watching somebody's show an hour before ours, saying that Epstein was in military detention.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
You hear the reaction, Larry, folks. He talks to people at the very top who would know what's going on. And he told us day after day after day, when this question has come up every day, is he still alive? Larry has been told, no, he's dead.
Yes. I mean, without going into how I know what I know with anybody about anything, I can tell you this. Remember the 3 criteria I always give you. I say it's my opinion, or I say it's true, and I give you the source, or I just simply give you the source, of where something's coming from. But in any event, when I tell you, without any shadow of any doubt, something to be true, book it. I would never do that unless I was beyond any shadow of any doubt anywhere in the world. Guaranteed I can prove it when time comes and needs be. So I'm telling you, short of at this point giving you where the proof lies, I am telling you, you don't have to believe me, but you better. I'm telling you, the man's dead. The question is not, is he dead? The question is, how did he die? And that's not even resolved yet. Even though I know they claim it was suicide by hanging, I am telling y'all, there is no absolute guaranteed proof positive truth that that's how he died. It's not. He's dead. But I'm telling you, there's nothing out there yet to prove beyond any shadow of any doubt that he hung himself as the method of death. You don't have to even believe me. You can check with Dr. Cyril West. He's done thousands and thousands of suicidal examinations, autopsies, and he will tell you the same. What else?
That's the only thing.
All right. Did anybody answer me? Did anybody answer? Does this thing asking my friend Tim to help us get all of our weapons tested and checked at a nominal fee to him, whatever he wants to charge it? He promised me it would not be much in the line of $50, something like that. Is there an interest for him to do it? If there's not, tell me and I'll tell him there wasn't. We don't make anything. It's nothing to do with us. But if you believe me, if you believe in me, you better hear me. If you've got a weapon that you've had put away in the closet or in a drawer or whatever for many, many years, and today, folks, it's virtually impossible to even find a place easily to go shoot your weapons just to practice, unless you join a firing range and pay all that expense. When most of us were growing up, you could just hop in your truck and go out in the country and stop somewhere and target practice. You can't do that today. But I'm telling you, a bunch of you have weapons that have been sitting around for some long time, some period of time. You better take advantage of Tim and his willingness, because he is a patriot. He is just like us. He's one of us. And he has certainly supported me. So somebody chat in right now and tell me whether you think that's worthy. If it's not, I'll shut him, tell him that he's not, doesn't even mess with it.
All right, we haven't gotten any response to that, so folks, please, and don't forget we got a couple minute delay. But Zachary, Tim is a friend of Larry's who has a ballistic tool shop in Conway, Arkansas, where he lives, and he's
by the way, he's got an engraving machine that is incredible. Incredible. I mean, I had him engrave a knife for me, put a sentiment on a knife. Oh my God. He does deep cut, smooth. I mean, it's incredible the work he does. So if any of you would like me to get you a knife, which I can find usually in some of the catalog things, I'm talking about a cheap knife, Bowie knife, but then I can have him engrave it and make it personal for you if you'd like. He certainly can do that with the best.
That's great. Does anybody want Tim to come on and give us any training or interview and just teach us something or set up a class that we can do? Kind of waiting for some response, folks.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mary Ellen, the program's over anyway. We're out of time, and I don't feel good, and I'm sorry.
All right.
Please, everybody, I beg you to forgive me for today's poor performance, but I'm having it's nothing to panic over. It's just made it very difficult to breathe, and when you can't breathe, it's difficult to concentrate, and it's not failure with the work they've done on my lungs. That works great. It's just situation right now, just something snuck in, a bug, and makes it tough.
Yeah, we've got 6 people now out of 65 that have said it's a great idea. They'd like to hear from Tim, would be helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now here's hoping you're better. Thank you, Larry. And let's see what we can do. People are saying I clean my own gun. WD-40 is all I need.
Yep. Some can. I'm not saying that there are many of you that can't for sure keep your weapon ready to go. I know there are, but I know there are people also that aren't proficient at doing that. So if you're one of the people that can take care of your own weapon and stuff, more power to you. I'm proud of you, and I want you to do it. But if you're not, if you haven't done it, if you're not comfortable with doing it, then I just want you to have some help with somebody that can help you. Peace of mind.
And folks, Larry's a weapons expert, and he had Jim look at his recently to make sure all is well, because he hasn't used them in a while. He hasn't had to use them. What about a 410 revolver? Somebody says bring Tim on. What about a 410 revolver?
410 revolver is, I have never liked them, but I haven't, but it's certainly a good weapon. And the 410, folks, for anybody that doesn't know, 410 is a shotgun. It's smaller than a 20 gauge. It's the gauge for most youngsters to get their first shotgun. They get a 410. And then they take that 410 and they use it as a pistol. And the 410 and a 45 long coat shell, you can shoot a 45 long coat shell in a 410 chambered weapon. It's just got a lot of buck. For a shotgun, it's very mild. But when you put it into a pistol, it's got a little bit of a buck that might be surprising for some people and scare some people. Recoil is usually the thing that scares people the most. And most of you guys and hunters that shoot or have been in the gun business for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. It's just people are afraid of recoil.
All right,
you shouldn't be.
We got a bunch of questions coming in about different guns. The 22 Tommy gun. Just make it a quick response. We got about 4.
22 Tommy gun.
Yeah.
22 Tommy gun. Well, usually when you talk about a Tommy gun, you're talking about, in my mind, you're talking about the guns like they carried in the Prohibition days, the submachine guns. I'm not aware of the 22 Tommy gun in that format. Now, I know there's a Tech 22, which is a automatic or semi-automatic. 22s are a fine weapon. Never doubted. Everything I ever did, I always carried a 22 backup because you can carry a bunch of rounds. They're lightweight, and I assure you, you can kill them in with a 22. You just got to know what you're doing and hit what you shoot at. What you got?
Romanian AK WASR 10.
Well, the main thing you need to check on that is just double check in the Romanian AKs, no matter what platform, make sure that it is steel, not a stamped metal receiver. That's the only thing I worry about with product from Romania or Czechoslovakia. Make sure they're not. A lot of them send out stamped receivers, and they get so hot they deform quickly. What else you got?
Beretta 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Somebody
You can't get any better than that. Beretta is one of the finest pistols made. Beretta. Now, by the way, you can get, in case you can't afford Beretta, Taurus is the second line for Beretta, so there's a cheaper line. But if you look at a Taurus and a Beretta, you'll see they're a lot alike.
What's a good gun to start with? You said the Coach double barrel using the small game shot.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, Gloria.
What was the question?
What's a good gun to start with?
If you're talking about for protection, which is what I'm talking about, I would like to see you start by getting a simple, it's easy to operate, it's not complicated, you don't have to load magazines, you don't have to load clips. You know, one of the problems, guys, when you get a weapon, what'll happen is now you got a gun and you say you got kids, you got grandkids. So what do? Well, you got to fix it where the kids can't kill themselves or shoot somebody, right? So what's the first thing you do? You take the gun and you put it in the closet, and then you make sure you don't need to get access to the shells too. So you put those in another closet and lock them up in a box with a key. Now, that's well and good. That's safe. But let me ask you, what do you do when somebody kicks your door down and you've got 3 to 5 seconds to try to respond? What good is that weapon to you? Now, a double-barrel shotgun, you know, keep it right close to the bed, but make sure there are no shells anywhere. Where are the shells? The shells need to be in your pocket, where nobody can get to them but you, and you can get to them in a split second. Breach open the gun, throw the shells in, breach it shut, and you're ready to go. We'll go into this more in depth, but be careful about getting yourself in a spot, because you get a weapon, but then you're scared that kids or grandkids can get in it, and justifiably so. We don't want anybody having an accident like that. So you have to think about being able to keep them safe, while at the same time, when you keep them safe to where they're kid-proof, now you can't get to them when you need them in an emergency.
I'm going to add something that Larry told me. I think this is okay to say, Larry. Somebody that Larry knows and who does security kinds of work, after talking to Larry and hearing this kind of stuff that he's telling us today, this guy now carries 4 shotgun shells in his pocket at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's smart. Gloria said you should definitely have your firing pin checked regularly if you use it a lot. If you can't disassemble, then have the shop check it.
Yes, and I would caution everybody with doing a lot of dry firing. A lot of people get it and they shoot it and squeeze the trigger, which you need to do to get the feel of the trigger. But if you do it too much, what happens, you're liable to harm your firing pin. You're liable to throw it through the gun or whatever. Anyway, be careful with doing dry firing, you know. Pulling the trigger when there's nothing for the hammer for the firing pin to hit. It's called dry firing. Just be careful doing that. What else?
That's it.
These are all things, Tim, and y'all can go over, because he's the expert. And by the way, he can build anything you want. He's done that for me.
All right. Thank you, Larry, very much, folks. Don't forget nicholslive.com, the website. We've got things you can buy to help promote the message of Never Socialism. There's a donate page. You've got Larry's address there. You've got my cell phone number for text messages, not for phone calls, because I can't always. I'm not always in a place where the phone works in my house. So send text
And
messages.
tomorrow, by the way, let me remember before I go. Tomorrow I will most probably be on with Jason at our allotted time at 2, and then I'll be on with us at 3.
Okay,
So don't forget that tomorrow.
we move everything an hour later here so he can be on with Jason. But folks, in order for him to keep doing this, he's got to have help. So that's enough said about that, so we don't look like we're begging. But nicholslive.com is the website. Anything you need to know is in the description below. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have a conference call. You're welcome to join us. That number is listed in the description. It's also at the website, nicholslive.com, and it is, if you can write it down quickly, 712-451-0725, and the access code is 492-215#. I'll say it again, 712-451-0725, access 492-215#. But it's also in the description. So
now, probably Wednesday, I'm going to try to have Tim, and we're probably going to do it, Mary Ellen, on the conference call number so people can call in and ask questions. All right?
sounds
So
good.
Wednesday's program, everybody be kind of alerted. We may do it. Most probably, I'll let you know tomorrow during the show tomorrow. And Mary Ellen will post it, but we're probably going to do Wednesday's program at 2 o'clock Central. Will be done through the conference call line instead of what we're doing today on YouTube.
And that,
so that y'all will be able to talk with Tim directly and ask questions.
So that means we'll be doing it kind of old school. You know, it'll be broadcast here, but we'll have to just run it through my speakerphone. And you know, that doesn't give us the best sound, but it does give you a chance to ask questions directly. You will be live because on speakerphone, everybody will hear what you're asking. But that gives us a chance to interact directly. So Larry, unless you want, well, that way other people can hear and can learn from what we're saying. Because if we just do the conference call, then whoever's on the call gets to enjoy it. And if they're not on the call, they're out of luck. So we will broadcast it here. Just be prepared to realize that if you're not on the conference call, if you're on the conference call, you will hear well. If you are not on the conference call and listening later through YouTube, the sound won't be as good as it is right now today. So sounds good, Larry. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Larry. All right, folks. You can hear that he's really struggling and he definitely needs some help. So thank you for anything and everything you can do. And that means giving or praying that somebody else will be able to give in your place, and or asking others to help. Now, you know, I've gone door to door through my neighborhood, and I know there are neighborhoods where you can't do that. You're not allowed. You can still talk to people. There are neighborhoods where you are allowed. You know, you need to check out whether that's possible. I haven't stood on the corner yet, but I've been considering it, depending on, you know, how safe a location I can find to do that. But folks, I know the begging's a problem, but we need Larry to stay in the game. The things that he does, he can't tell anybody what he's doing. Sometimes his stuff is so top secret, but he gives enough hints that if you can read between the lines, you can realize he does some pretty amazing, dramatic counseling. with people and who are coming and asking him advice and so on. So if you've read the book, if you have heard the Clinton Chronicles video, you can see that on YouTube. Those are the kinds of things that give you an indication of what Larry's capable of doing. So thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. You know, even if all we have here is emotional support and prayer support, it's still important. So don't forget, Larry, at the very end, can't remember, I think it was Thursday, not Friday, last week, he prayed a very touching prayer that brought several of us to tears. So if you didn't get a chance to hear last Thursday and Friday, go ahead and try to find it and listen. Appreciate your hitting the like button. Appreciate your sharing this. Appreciate your subscribing. We need to get, you know, up into the tens of thousands. We're at 9,083 right now. I know YouTube scraps subscriptions sometimes. There are places that I'm subscribed to and never get notifications anymore, even though I say notify on all. So if you're not getting notifications, know that every day, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're here at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. On Tuesdays, if he does Jason, then we're bumped an hour later. So that's at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, after he finishes up with Jason. And I try to get on here right away so that we're open on time. And I'll just let you know if he's going a little overtime with Jason. But I try to get it set up so that he's ready to roll. As soon as he hangs up with Jason, he can come right in here. Thanks a lot for being here. God bless you. And we'll talk tomorrow. Be on the conference call tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central if you want to interact with us. It'd be great if we could grow that group too, but sometimes it's pretty casual. So it's a chance to ask questions directly. And if I can't answer them from what I've learned from Larry, then we certainly can ask him and make sure we get you the answers. So thanks again. God bless you. Bye.